All right, it's time for everyone's most favorite thing in the world, and that is to style our game setup component. So I'm going to hop on over. I have my Chrome window open over here so I can watch it as I start to develop the styles. I'm going to hop over into our game setup.scss file. And the first thing I'm going to do, like always, is import our backpack variables so that we have access to our mixins and to our other variables. Then I'm going to remind myself what class name I used for that, cgame settings, which actually is a bad idea. I don't know why I did cgame settings. It should be cgame setup. So make sure you make that change on that class name. I don't know what I was thinking. I definitely want the c-whatevers to correlate to the name of the component itself. I think that's a good way to do it. Anyway, we'll start off by doing c-game-setup. And we're going to include section, our section mixin, and that should immediately give us this nice little visual thing. We'll give a margin bottom of 10 pixels and a flex grow of 1, so it'll stretch down to the bottom. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to style the error. I'm going to say h1.error. Actually, I'll do a direct descendant of h1error. I'll say color is color bad, display is block, and float is right. So our error will appear over here. Then we'll style our form rows. I'm going to give it a display of flex and a margin of 10 up and down and 0 left and right. Then for the label, I'm going to say flex is none, width is 100 pixels, text align is right, padding right is 10, and align self is center. So that gives us that nice little padding there. Then I'm going to style our set list. So underneath form row, I'm going to say sets-list. I'm going to include unlistify, which will unlistify that. Then I'm going to style our LIs. I'm going to include user select none so that we can't select that text. So it kind of acts as a more concrete buttony type thing. Then I'm going to say cursor is default, which will further give it the feeling of being an actual clickable element, a clickable button. I'm going to give it a display of inline block, a padding of 2 up and down, 5 left and right, a border all around of 2 px solid color section border, a margin right of 5 pixels, a margin bottom of 5 pixels, and a border radius of 3 pixels. So that'll give it a nice little buttony type thing. Then I'm going to say is-selected, and I'm going to say border color is color primary. So if it's selected, we'll have a nice little blue border around it. Then let's style our, after that, let's style our start game, which will be underneath set list, and we'll do start-game, that button, and we'll give it a width of 100% and a text align of center. So now our start game looks like that. And if I logged in real fast, you'll notice that the start game is now appropriately colored. And really, I think that's good. Maybe for, I might want to actually change the cursor. If the form is enabled, I might want to change the cursor on our sets a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to come down here. And I believe the class name that I used if the form is enabled is simply enabled. So I can come down here and say and enabled sets list li, and I'll do cursor is pointer, and then maybe also do a hover state of border color is going to be, let's lighten our color primary by 5%. Maybe 15%. And I think that's good. And then maybe on top of that, let's come to our LI for the sets list and give it a transition of border color of 500 milliseconds cubic Bezier based off a half circle. There, I think that looks good. All right, so I'll scroll through the CSS one more time. Wasn't a whole lot of CSS. So I guess we'll stop the video here, and in the next video we will continue on actually putting together the game board, the actual surface of the way that we're going to be playing the game. And we'll see you guys then.